Happy Tuesday. I'm trying to find out where the heck I'm supposed to go. Where am I supposed to go? So I present this. Okay, no, we did that part. So, Brick, what did you miss? We're trying to figure out... Oh, man. There's too much to try and recall. Apparently, there was someone who died at the same time that this dude died in the back of the car. It just happens to be the same person. So the same person died in two places at once. Yeah, and we're now investigating where he died in the other place. We're trying to figure that out. I think he was killed in the evidence room and then moved. We have several things in our inventory. But now I've been going back and forth for like the last 10 minutes, so I opened this one up. Boss for a day, talk to Edgeworth, I got that one. Present the ID card record, Gumtree look at it in shock, he sees that it's Edgeworth. Handwriting, examine the glove. Rubber glove will be added. Pieces something up big on the ground, check it closer, move the picture. We did that, put the jar together. Spray the one test from the upper locker, got blood, someone wiped it. Handwrite and spray the upper right locker to the left of the crime scene. It has more blood. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off as well. Got that one. High prosecutor's office. Wait, did we go to the prosecutor's? I thought we already went to the prosecutor's office. Roger that, RG. Thanks for the backup. The cloth and carburetor was her scarf, and it had a knife in it. Very important. It was a knife from the case that they was trying to move that we think is related. It just told me to come here. As it is on his locker, as in the floor plan, spray looks like the crime scene. Spray on what looks like the crime scene. There's a lot of blood. Something really happened here. Emma marks the spot. We'll then leave to give him... So I need to be in the... I need to be back at the evidence room. What this is basically showing. Apparently I missed something. Okay, let's read this one more time. The small little ideas. Who did it? I don't know who killed the dude in the trunk. Well, I think he was already dead. I think he was killed here in the this place here. We think he was killed here because when we look with our supervision, because we have luminol now, this is pretty big. Someone's handprint. Oh, this is probably the new thing I missed, of course. Because apparently just having it there isn't good enough. I have to actually do it. Yeah, they gave the metal detector. It's pretty great. It's like, I've seen this before. I know exactly where I've seen this before. What's the matter, detective? This locker. It's mine. It's yours? Please. You have to help me. When they come and take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down. Counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. You are the police. Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to go? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth Inquiry Committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to give him my report for the day. You mean what to order for lunch? Might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problem? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. He needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe. I'm off, pal. Later. Try to see what Edgeworth has to say. Gosh. That's what I missed? Why would I need to spray a blood splatter thing on the... It was already known to be blood. Come on. Come on. Oh, I guess. My apologies. It's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? Standing by the window with a teacup in his hand. Right. Is the hotel bringing him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am? Now, by the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The lymph was on the other side, Edgeworth. I think the whole thing is really taking a toll on him. What's that? How did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time, again. I've heard them say that so many times, ever since that case 2 years ago. You okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. Isn't that good, though? Yes, any further investigations for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. Why? Why? Gant is the Chief of Police who came in. And, we kind of think he's the bad guy. But he kind of has a very demanding presence, and he blinks at you very slowly. All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still, never seen him this out of sorts. Hey, so you went into the evidence room. Is he as bad as Von Karma? I get that politically as bad as Von Karma from him. So just as bad, but does things differently. Alright, I better check this now. As I was saying, what's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. What? Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. Chief of Police. He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. Chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. I'm curious. AI-16. Stubborn as always, I told you that this has nothing to do with the current case. Dang it. Yeah, the case that's been popped up that it was, let's see, on the note and on the murder weapon is SL9. So SL9 is the new DL6 apparently. apparently. I think the dude was dead already. I don't know if he was killed with this or not, but I don't think stabbing him did anything. Because again, he's the one that's, like, the dude that died in the car was already dead here at the detective's office. Maybe show my best evidence and get some reaction out of him. I'm gonna get something. So is your client found not guilty yet? No. She's still saying she did it. And the more I'm thinking about it, it sounds like she was... I don't know, actually. I'm thinking about it. Did I go this way with this stuff already? I think I did. Yeah. You don't have anything to say? Nothing yet. That could be possible, Brick. Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, I don't think he has anything for us. Oh, here we go. The SL9 incident was the heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time. Damon Gant. That wacky old coot who was involved with the case 2 years ago. He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Oh, you get nervous too? I want to know is why the deputy chief of police was on the investigation. Renji, happy Tuesday. We guessed he would have been in, like, Edgeworth would have been arrested for it since it was his car, but then there was the eyewitness, that's the lunch lady, who saw the moment of the murder. And she had the picture too. In truth, I use slightly more extreme methods than normal. We're dealing with a vicious murder. If I let it go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. You didn't. Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying fornistic science? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid. Well then. You might have a use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints! It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Dude, what a sneaky guy. I like it. No need to thank me. Yeah, take your powder and those fingerprint files for everyone involved. I don't touch the evidence unless it's a handgun. That's great, Renji. But that would be fair. He just saw a guy he thought just died. But that's pretty clever. I like that. Oh, that's great. Fingerprints. Perfect. Let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing some suspicious handprint. I'm so glad we got out of that little bump we were in, trying to figure out where to go. Department? Hard. Oh, of course he's not there. He's almost never there. Investigation turned us a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on detective evidence locker. Let's use a secret weapon we just borrowed. Woo! Secret weapon! Enhance. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger. Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. Let's choose the finger that will leave that left behind the clearest print. Probably the index finger. Good procrastinating and choose a finger. I'm gonna say this one. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. It means somebody's excited about what they're doing. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder. How do you do that? With enter, see? Okay, it looks like it did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Yeah, how do we do that? We don't have a... By the way, when we played this on the DS, you actually had to blow into the DS. There was a microphone. With E! I don't know what E is in relation to what I have. Imagine you're blowing out candles on a birthday cake. That looks like fun. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. Unless you inhale first, which would be wrong. Just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting. Oh, Y is blow, so we're good. Oh, that's super easy. I don't even, like... Oh, okay. I mean, look at that great job we did. You found one! But this looks like nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Oh, because he tried to wipe it. The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we're wasting our time. Calm down, that's just the way it goes sometimes. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for the other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker again closely. Ooh! Seems there's other fingerprints. I see that one. The one just below the thumb. To the left. This one. Yeah. Wait, it's not good? I said... What more does you want me to do? I'm gonna lay this on so thick, there's no way I'd miss it. I don't think they like that I actually tried to blow on it. I'm gonna basically make this an entire white spot. No blue squares behind it. Yeah, look at that. I don't like dots. There's no dots allowed in here. Nope. Got it. That was pretty thick, I agree. 2 C's. Dazzling? Anyway, this print looks like took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. It's quite the process. There's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is. She's right. Derp. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person you think left these prints. How am I supposed to know that? I could make a pretty good guess. Bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means the points probably don't have anything to do with our case. So these fingerprints would most likely find on this locker. Whose fingerprints would we most likely find in this locker? Gumshoe, probably. Yep. Comparing. Analyzing. Comparing. Comparison complete. Match found. On Match.com. Yep, they're gumshoes. Yeah, I want to see what happens when we actually use like the entire thing of the powder. It's like, so here's your dabber, and here's the small thing of powder we have. So you powder it on like that. Just like this. Like that. Perfect. Got it. Something wrong, right? Give me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Oh, okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Dude, she's so chipper. You gotta roll with the punches. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint. Let's go to the other handprint. Slide. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. This is where we got the luminol fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this? We have the option to just leave? Okay, no, we're not gonna leave. To warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? Yeah, we ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have to be wiped away. Would have been wiped away too. That means no prints. Would you say the probability of our hypothesis is high? Don't ask me that. Anyway, must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. You think Emma is more chipper than Maya? I think it's because she knows things she's interested in, and Maya is just clueless. And is excited when something happens that she didn't know. This one looks good. Right? Wait. So like if these are her his or her prints, wouldn't there be a print like over here? Make it thick. Is there anything here? Oh, there is. Give him a best shot. Camera's also getting good for matching. Need a clear print. Different finger. I guess we'll try this one. Dust. Dust. Dust in the wind. Oh. I was waiting for the highlight. That was one of the things we found with the luminol. When we were just like spraying it everywhere. Make it thick! Don't let them think we didn't do enough. Got it. That's a pretty good print. No. Oh, that looks good. Hi, Jake. This is a different locker, so it's not going to be gumshoe. Wait. Why was his hand covered in blood? Whose are they? Whose? This is someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall. Found on a bloody handprint left in the evidence room. That was wiped away. That can't be a coincidence. He's not involved with the crime. Emma. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction, the blood, and the fingerprints are in the same place. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. And he was supposed to be on guard duty. Why would Officer Marshall... Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. This is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. The man I have a crush on. Why would he do this? He's only twice my age, but I love him. Don't get involved. Don't get involved. It's fine. Alright. This is day... What day is this? 2? She's crushing on him because she knew him when she was hanging out with her sister. Because her sister and him did some investigating together. Day 3 of the trial. So this is the last day. I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Oh no. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. Yeah, we're being rude to all of our helpers. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean. Don't tell me. Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. It belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. This is fishy. Fishy. I like how our pink glasses just, like, are so bright. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is... Afraid you have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. It's not physically possible, is it? It's more like the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. This one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I'll present evidence resulting to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. This is what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. That's us. That's supposed to be an admirable trait? We must be, like, super admirable. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Edgeworth, call your first witness. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. We're about to get Meekins up in here. It's about to get Meekins. Oh, is that a phrase? You were going to say that, Renji? Sorry. This means great minds think alike. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Meekins. Mike Meekins, sir. Occupation is, that would be a murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'd never kill anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is... Sir, I'm what you call a part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Sir. After all, I'm part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. Can't fault him for lack of enthusiasm. Wow. Okay. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. motto to have. I see, then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir, he knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well, defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Meaning, push the press button over and over. Got it, game. Hold it! What he said. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits. Wonder how that screening process goes. Scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. Blue Badger. Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by Chief of Detectives, sir. I wasn't too sure it wasn't broken during the transferal process.